Luna had crossed 3 entire galaxies just to get here. She'd studied human behavior for months, learned their language perfectly, and even figured out how to make her special suit look exactly like a regular college student.
Everything was
going according to plan. Well, almost everything standing in the doorway of what humans called a bathroom. Luna felt her confidence crumble like a cookie. Her advanced alien brain, which could calculate space travel routes and understand complex physics, was completely stumped by what sat in front of her. The white porcelain thing looked like some kind of chair, but it had a big hole in the middle. Next to it was a roll of soft paper hanging from a metal holder. On the wall, there was a silver handle that seemed to be connected to nothing she could understand. Luna's host family had been so kind to her, they thought she was an exchange student. From a remote mountain village where they didn't have modern conveniences, if only they knew the truth, that she came from a planet where waste simply disappeared at the molecular level with just a thought. This can't be that difficult, she whispered to herself, trying to boost her confidence. If billions of humans can figure this out, surely I can too. But the more she stared at the contraption, the more questions popped into her head. Which way was she supposed to face? Was the hole supposed to be in front of her or behind her? And what was that water doing, just sitting there at the bottom, looking dark and mysterious? On her home planet, everything was clean and simple. You thought about waste elimination, and it happened. No scary holes, no mysterious water, no confusing handles, just pure, efficient molecular disintegration. A soft knock on the door made her jump. Luna, "Are you okay in there?" called her host sister, Amy. "You've been standing there for like 15 minutes? Luna cleared her throat, trying to sound normal. "Yes, I'm just admiring your beautiful bathroom design." There was a pause. "Ah, okay. Well, just remember to flush when you're done." Flush. That word again. Luna had heard it several times since arriving, but she still had no idea what it meant. It sounded violent and scary, like something that might hurt her. She pulled out her phone and quickly typed, "What does flush mean, bathroom?" The search results made her even more nervous. Words like rushing water and powerful flow, and don't forget to flush filled her screen. It sounded like some kind of water attack. Luna took a deep breath and tried to think logically. She was a trained researcher, after all. She had come to Earth to study human culture and behavior. This was just another aspect of human life she needed to understand, but understanding something and actually doing it were two completely different things. She circled the toilet like a scientist studying a new species. From every angle, it looked equally intimidating. The water in the bowl seemed to mock her with its stillness, like it was waiting for something to happen. "Okay, Luna," she said to herself, "humans do this every day. Little human children learn how to do this. You are an advanced being from a sophisticated civilization. You can figure out one simple human device." She sat down carefully, facing the wall. That felt wrong immediately. She stood up and turned around, sitting the other way. That seemed more natural, though she still felt like she was taking a huge risk. The actual process wasn't too bad. Her body worked the same way as humans, more or less. But then came the moment she'd been dreading, the flush. Luna stared at the silver handle like it was a weapon. According to her phone research, she was supposed to push it down. But what would happen when she did? Would water shoot out everywhere? Would it make loud noises? Would it somehow know she wasn't really human? She reached out slowly, her finger barely touching the metal. It felt cold and somehow ominous. Taking a deep breath, she closed her eyes and pushed. The sound was like nothing she'd ever heard. A loud whoosh followed by what could only be described as a mechanical roar. The water in the bowl started spinning in a violent whirlpool, disappearing down the hole like it was being sucked into another dimension. But the worst part was the spray. Tiny drops of water hit her face and hands, and she was sure she was under. "Attack!" She screamed and jumped backward, pressing herself against the bathroom wall. "It's trying to eat me," she gasped, staring at the now quiet toilet with terror. The door burst open and Amy rushed in with a worried expression. "Luna, what happened? Are you hurt?" Luna pointed at the toilet with a shaking finger. "The water beast. It roared at me and spit water everywhere." Amy looked at her exchange student, then at the perfectly normal toilet, then back at Luna. She just ... Did you call the toilet a water beast? It attacked me, Luna insisted, her voice still shaky. I pressed the silver thing like you said, and it made horrible noises and shot water at me. Amy's expression softened from worry to confusion to something that looked like she was trying not to laugh. Luna, that's just how toilets work. Water is supposed to swirl like that. It's cleaning everything and sending it away through the pipes. But it was so loud, and the water flew everywhere. That's totally normal, Amy said gently. Maybe toilets in your village work differently. Luna nodded quickly, very differently. Much more ... quiet, and less ... aggressive. Amy smiled and patted her shoulder. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. American toilets can be pretty intense if you're not used to them. My cousin from Europe said the same thing when she first visited. As Amy left, Luna stared at the toilet again. It looked innocent enough now, just sitting there quietly. But she knew better. She had seen its true nature, the roaring, the spinning water, the surprise spray attack. She made a mental note to find alternative solutions for as long as possible. Maybe she could hold it until she got back to her spaceship. That was only 3 more weeks away. How hard could it be? For 3 whole days, Luna had been sneaking around the house like a spy. She'd memorized Amy's schedule, her parents' routines, and even the family dog's bathroom breaks. All so she could avoid using that terrifying porcelain monster when anyone else was home. Her plan was working perfectly. She'd wait until everyone left for work and school, then quickly sneak into the bathroom, do what she needed to do, and escape before anyone came back. The only problem was the flushing part, which she'd been completely skipping. This is getting ridiculous, she muttered to herself on day 4, sitting on her bed with her laptop. I'm supposed to be studying human culture, not hiding from there. Bathroom technology. She'd spent hours watching something called YouTube videos, with titles like How to Use a Toilet Properly and Toilet Training for Adults. The comments section was filled with people making jokes, but Luna took every word seriously. This was scientific research after all. One video showed a cheerful woman demonstrating proper toilet posture. Another explained the importance of flushing. A third one talked about toilet paper techniques that made Luna's head spin with confusion. How did humans make something so simple seem so complicated? Armed with her research and a fresh dose of determination, Luna decided today was the day. She would conquer her fear. She would face the water beast and emerge victorious. The house was empty except for Whiskers, the family cat, who was napping in a sunny spot by the window. Perfect conditions for her mission. Luna approached the bathroom door like a warrior preparing for battle. She took deep breaths, reviewed her mental notes, and stepped inside. The toilet sat there innocently, looking exactly the same as it had 3 days ago. But Luna wasn't fooled. She knew what this thing was capable of. Okay, Luna, she whispered to herself. You've watched 17 videos about this. You know what to do. Humans do this every single day without dying. You can do this too. Sat down carefully, making sure she was facing the right direction. The actual process went smoothly enough. Her body worked the same way it always had, alien or not. But then came the moment of truth. The flush. Luna stared at the silver handle, like it was a dangerous weapon. Her research had taught her that this step was absolutely necessary. Apparently not flushing was considered very rude in human culture. And Amy had already started making weird faces when she used the bathroom. She reached out slowly, her heart pounding. Just water, she told herself. Just water moving. Through pipes. Nothing scary about that. She pressed the handle down. The toilet exploded to life with that same terrifying roar she remembered from 3 days ago. The water started spinning in violent circles, creating a whirlpool that looked like it could suck her into another dimension. But this time, something went wrong. Instead of the water going down quietly like in the videos, it started rising. Higher and higher, spinning faster and faster, until it was almost at the rim of the bowl. Luna watched in horror as the water kept climbing. No, no, no. Ow! She gasped, jumping up from the seat. This is not what the video showed. The water reached the top of the bowl and started spilling over onto the floor. Luna screamed and pressed herself against the wall, convinced she was about to be swept away by a toilet tsunami. "Help," she yelled, forgetting that she was supposed to be keeping quiet. "The water beast is attacking," but the worst part was yet to come. As Luna panicked, her special biosuit started malfunctioning. The technology that made her look human was connected to her emotions. And right now, her emotions were going crazy. Her appearance began flickering like a broken TV. One second, she looked like a normal college student. The next second, her true form was visible, a shimmering, translucent being with skin that looked like it was made of starlight. Just then, Amy burst through the door. "Luna, what's wrong? I heard you screaming and ... Amy stopped mid-sentence, staring at what she was seeing. For a moment, Luna stood there in her true alien form, water spreading across the bathroom floor, both of them frozen in shock. Then Luna's panic reached maximum level, and her biosuit snapped back to human mode so fast it made her dizzy. The toilet broke," Luna stammered, pointing at the overflowing water. "It started making noises, and the water wouldn't stop." Amy looked at the mess, then at Luna, then back at the mess. Her expression was a mixture of confusion and concern. "Luna, did you just shimmer? Like your whole body looked like it was made of light for a second?" Luna's mind raced. She needed an explanation that didn't involve revealing her true identity as an alien researcher. "I have a very rare medical condition," she said quickly. "It's called ... Stress-Induced Optical Hallucination Syndrome. When I get really scared, people sometimes see things that aren't there." Amy blinked several times. That's a real thing? Very rare?" Luna nodded seriously. "Only affects people from remote mountain villages where the air is thin. The stress makes other people see weird light effects around me." Amy seemed to buy this explanation, probably because it was so weird it had to be true. "Let's worry about your medical condition later. Right now, we need to fix this toilet." She waded into the bathroom, turned a small valve behind the toilet, and the water stopped rising. Then she used a plunger, a device Luna had never seen before, to make the water go down. "There," Amy said, mopping up the floor with towels. "Just a simple clog. Happens all the time." Luna watched in amazement as Amy fixed the problem in less than 5 minutes. It had seemed like a major disaster to her, but to Amy, it was just another Tuesday. "How did you know how to do that?" Luna asked. Amy shrugged. "Living in an old house, you learn to fix things. Don't worry about it. These things happen." As they cleaned up the mess together, Luna realized something important. The toilet wasn't trying to attack her. It was just a machine, and sometimes machines had problems. The real issue was her own fear and lack of understanding. But she also realized something else. Her biosuit malfunction had been a close call. If Amy had seen her true form for just a few more seconds, her entire mission could have been compromised. She needed to get her emotions under control, or her secret wouldn't stay secret for much longer. News of Luna's toilet disaster spread through the house faster than spilled water. By dinner time, the whole family was talking about their exchange students' unique reactions to American technology. They thought she was just having culture shock. But Luna knew the truth was much more complicated. "We need to help her adjust," said Mrs. Chen, Amy's mom, as she served dinner. "The poor girl seems terrified of everything electronic." Mr. Chen nodded thoughtfully. "Remember when my grandmother first moved in with us? She was afraid of the microwave for months, called it a magic heat box." Amy looked at Luna across the dinner table. "Mom, I think Luna might need some extra help. Today she said the toilet was a water beast that tried to attack her." Luna nearly choked on her food. "I was just ... very surprised by the mechanical sounds." "Don't worry, sweetheart," Mrs. Chen said kindly. "Tomorrow we'll have a proper orientation day. We'll show you how everything works so you won't be scared anymore." Luna forced a smile, but inside she was panicking. More technology demonstrations meant more chances for her biosuit to malfunction. More opportunities to accidentally reveal her true identity. The next morning, Mrs. Chen gathered the family in the kitchen like a teacher preparing for class. She had notebooks, pens, and what looked like a carefully planned lesson. "Okay, Luna," she said cheerfully. "Let's start with the basics. Kitchen appliances first." She walked over to a large white box that Luna had been successfully avoiding for days. "This is our refrigerator. Keeps food cold and fresh." Luna nodded politely. On her planet, food was created fresh whenever needed, but she'd figured out that this cold box stored pre-made food. That part wasn't too scary. "Now this," Mrs. Chen continued, moving to a smaller box on the counter, "is our microwave. You put food in, press some buttons, and it heats up in minutes." Right. She demonstrated by putting a cup of water inside and pressing buttons. The machine started humming, and Luna jumped backward so fast she knocked over a chair. "It's making noise," she gasped. "That's normal," Mr. Chen said gently. "Listen, it's a very soft humming sound." To Luna's alien ears, the humming sounded like a dangerous energy weapon charging up. Her biosuit started flickering slightly, and she quickly took deep breaths to calm herself. "Maybe we should move on to something quieter," Amy suggested, noticing Luna's distress. "Good idea," Mrs. Chen agreed. "Let's try the dishwasher." She opened what looked like a regular cabinet, but inside was a complex arrangement of racks and spray arms. "You put dirty dishes in here, add soap, and it cleans everything automatically." Luna stared at the contraption with fascination and fear. "What happens when you turn it on?" "Let me show you," Mrs. Chen said, closing the door and pressing a button. Dishwasher came to life with a sound like a small waterfall mixed with mechanical grinding. Luna shrieked and dove behind the kitchen island, convinced she was under attack. "Luna," Mommy called out. "Are you okay?" Luna peeked over the counter, her eyes wide with terror. Is it supposed to sound like that?" "Yes, honey," Mrs. Chen said patiently. "It's just water spraying around to clean the dishes. Would you like to look inside while it's running?" "Absolutely not," Luna said quickly. "I believe you that it's working correctly." The family exchanged concerned glances. Mr. Chen cleared his throat. "Maybe we should try something really simple. How about the garbage disposal?" He flipped a switch next to the kitchen sink, and suddenly the most terrifying sound Luna had ever heard filled the kitchen. It was like a monster grinding, its teeth mixed with the sound of rocks being crushed. Luna's panic reached maximum level. Her biosuit completely malfunctioned, and for several seconds, she appeared in her true form, a shimmering, translucent being with multiple sensory appendages that sparkled like stars. The entire family stared in shock. Luna quickly realized what had happened and desperately tried to fix it. "It's my medical condition again," she said, forcing her biosuit back to human mode. "The stress makes people see optical illusions around me." Amy blinked several times. "Luna, that wasn't an optical illusion. You literally looked like you were made of light and you had extra arms or something." "Very advanced holographic medical device," Luna said quickly, patting her pocket. "Doctors gave it to me to help with my condition. Sometimes it malfunctions. When I'm scared." Mr. Chen looked skeptical. It's quite advanced technology for a medical device. It's very expensive." Luna nodded. "My village saved up for years to buy it." Mrs. Chen, who had been quietly observing, suddenly smiled. "You know what? I think we're overwhelming you with too much at once. How about we just stick to one appliance per day?" "That'd be perfect," Luna said gratefully. "But first," Amy said, still looking confused, "can you show us this medical device? I've never seen anything like that before." Luna's mind raced. She needed to distract them from asking too many questions about her technology. It's very personal," she said sadly. "Part of my rare condition. I don't like to talk about it because it makes me feel different from everyone else." The family's expressions immediately softened. Mrs. Chen put a gentle hand on Luna's shoulder. "Oh, sweetheart, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Everyone has something that makes them different," Mr. Chen added kindly. "We're just happy to have you here with us." Amy nodded. "We'll help you get used to our crazy loud appliances. Maybe we can start with the quieter ones." Luna felt a strange warm feeling in her chest. These humans were being so kind to her. Even though she was lying to them about everything, on her planet strangers were treated with suspicion, but this family had welcomed her into their home and was trying to help her feel comfortable. "Thank you," she said softly. "You're all very kind. I promise I'll try to be braver about your technology." "There's no rush," Mrs. Chen said. "We'll take it slow. Tomorrow, maybe just the toaster?" Luna nodded, though she had no idea what a toaster was. But whatever it was, she was determined to face it without her biosuit malfunctioning again. She was learning that humans weren't just interesting to study, they were genuinely good people. That made her feel both happy and guilty at the same time. By the end of her second week, Luna had developed what she considered a foolproof system for avoiding most human technology. She ate only fruits and vegetables that didn't need cooking. She pretended to be on a digital detox to avoid using electronics. And she had mastered the art of using the toilet without flushing, though she knew this was causing problems. The problem was getting worse each day. Amy's mom had started leaving air fresheners in the bathroom. Mr. Chen had asked if she was feeling sick. Even Whiskers, the family cat, had started avoiding the bathroom entirely. Luna knew she couldn't keep this up forever, but she had a much bigger problem now. Amy was standing outside the bathroom door with a determined expression and a pile of towels. "Luna, we need to talk," Amy said firmly. "You've been here 2 weeks and I don't think you've taken a single shower." Luna's heart sank. She'd been hoping no one would notice. On her planet, they used sonic waves to clean themselves. No water required. But she was quickly learning that humans were very particular about their water-based cleaning rituals. "I've been ... washing at the sink," Luna said weakly. "That's not the same thing," Amy replied. "Come on, I'll show you how everything works. It's really not that scary." Amy led her into the bathroom and pulled back a curtain to reveal what looked like a small room with a shower head hanging from the ceiling. There were multiple bottles lined up on a shelf, and various knobs and handles that made Luna's head spin. "It's just water," Amy explained, turning on the tap. "Hot water comes out, you get clean, you turn it off. Simple." Luna stared at the water, streaming down like a miniature waterfall. But what if it's too hot? What if it's too cold? What if it never stops? "That's what these handles are for," Amy said patiently. "Left is hot, right is cold. You just adjust them until it feels right." She demonstrated by sticking her hand under the water and adjusting the temperature. "See, perfect. Now here's shampoo. For your hair, conditioner to make it soft, and body wash for everywhere else." Luna looked at the bottles like they were dangerous chemicals. "How do I know which one to use first?" "Shampoo first, then conditioner, then body wash," Amy said. "And you only need a little bit of each, maybe a quarter-sized amount." After Amy left, Luna stood in the bathroom staring at the shower like it was a puzzle she needed to solve. She'd watched Amy make it look easy, but Luna knew better. Human technology always had hidden dangers. She undressed slowly and stepped into the shower area. The water was still running, and she could feel the warm spray on her skin. It actually felt nice. Warmer and more gentle than she'd expected. "Okay," she said to herself. "This isn't so bad, just water. I can handle water." She reached for the shampoo bottle and squeezed out what she thought was a quarter-sized amount. It seemed too small, so she squeezed out more. Then a little more, just to be safe. The bottle made a loud squirting sound as she squeezed, and suddenly her hands were full of thick, slippery liquid. She tried to put it in her hair, but most of it slipped through her fingers onto the shower floor. "This is fine," she muttered, reaching for more shampoo. "I just need to use more." She squeezed the bottle again, harder this time. A huge glob of shampoo came out, much more than she'd intended. So she rubbed it all into her hair. The moment the shampoo touched her hair, it exploded into bubbles. Not just a few bubbles, mountains of bubbles. Covered her head, her shoulders, and started flowing down her body like a foam waterfall. "What's happening?" Luna gasped, trying to rinse the bubbles out. But the more water she used, the more bubbles appeared. Soon, she was standing in a sea of foam that reached her knees. She tried to step out of the shower, but the floor was slippery. With soap, her feet went out from under her, and she grabbed the shower curtain to steady herself. The curtain rod came loose, and both Luna and the curtain crashed to the floor, in a tangle of plastic and soap bubbles. "Help!" she called out, struggling to get up. "The water machine is trying to drown me in bubbles." Amy burst through the door and stopped dead in her tracks. The bathroom looked like a bubble factory had exploded. Foam was everywhere on the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and in the middle of it all was Luna, wrapped in the shower curtain and covered head to toe in bubbles. "Luna, what did you do?" Amy gasped. "I followed your instructions," Luna said desperately. "I used the shampoo like you said." Amy looked at the shampoo bottle, which was now completely empty. "Luna, this bottle was supposed to last a month. How much did you use?" "I wanted to make sure my hair was really clean," Luna said in a small voice. Amy tried not to laugh, but a small giggle escaped. "You only needed a tiny bit, like really tiny." "The bottle didn't say that," Luna protested. "It's kind of common knowledge," Amy said, helping Luna to her feet. "Don't worry, we'll get this cleaned up." It took them 45 minutes to rinse all the soap out of Luna's hair. The bubbles seemed to multiply every time they added water, and Luna was convinced the shampoo had some kind of magical properties. "Is this normal?" Luna asked, as Amy helped her rinse for the 10th time. Double quotes. "Well, not exactly," Amy admitted. "But everyone has shower disasters when they're learning. My little brother once used dish soap instead of shampoo and created bubbles that lasted for hours." When they finally got all the soap out, Luna's hair was incredibly soft and shiny. She touched it in amazement. "It feels like ... like silk." "That's the conditioner," Amy explained, though you probably didn't need a whole bottle of that either. As they cleaned up the bathroom, Luna realized something important. The shower wasn't trying to attack her, she just didn't understand how it worked. And Amy wasn't angry about the mess. Instead, she was being helpful and patient. "Thank you," Luna said quietly, "for not being mad about all this." Amy smiled. "Everyone makes mistakes. Besides, this is actually kind of fun. It's like having a little sister who's experiencing everything for the first time." Luna felt that warm feeling in her chest again. These humans kept surprising her with their kindness, even when she caused disasters. Maybe her mission to study their culture was teaching her more than she'd expected. But next time, she was definitely reading the instructions on the bottles first. 3 weeks into her stay, Luna was finally starting to understand human technology. She could use the toilet without panicking, though she still held her breath during the flushing part. She'd learned to use just a tiny bit of shampoo in the shower, and she could even make toast without jumping when it popped up. But her real breakthrough came on a stormy Tuesday night when the power went out. Luna was in her room, pretending to study, when suddenly everything went dark. The humming of the refrigerator stopped. The soft buzz of the lights disappeared. Even the digital clock on her nightstand went blank. For a moment, she felt relief. Finally, all the scary human technology was quiet. But then she heard voices. Downstairs, and realized the family might be in trouble, she found them in the living room, lighting candles and gathering around the coffee table. Instead of looking worried or upset, they seemed happy. "Luna, perfect timing," called Mrs. Chen, patting the couch beside her. "Come join us. We're going to have an old-fashioned family night." But all your technology stopped working?" Luna said, confused. "Aren't you worried?" Mr. Chen chuckled. "Sometimes it's nice when everything shuts down. It forces us to slow down and spend time together." Amy was already pulling out a board game from a cabinet. "We do this every time the power goes out. Games, stories, just talking. It's actually pretty fun." Luna sat down carefully, still not understanding. "But how will you cook food? How will you stay warm? How will you communicate with the outside world?" "We have a gas stove so we can still cook," Mrs. Chen explained. "Plenty of blankets for warmth. And sometimes it's nice to be disconnected from the outside world for a while." As the evening went on, Luna watched in amazement as the family played games, told stories, and laughed together, without all the beeping, humming, and buzzing of their devices. The house felt peaceful, more like the quiet harmony she was used to on her home planet. "You know," she said during a break between games, "this is really nice. All the machines being quiet. I mean, you really don't like technology, do you?" Amy asked gently. Luna considered her answer carefully. "For weeks, She'd been pretending her fear came from living in a remote village. But sitting here with this kind family, surrounded by candlelight and warmth, she felt like she owed them something closer to the truth. "I'm not from where you think I'm from," she said slowly. The family looked at her with interest, but not suspicion. "We figured that out already," Mr. Chen said with a smile. "Your accent doesn't match any place we could think of, and some of your reactions to everyday things have been ... unique. You called the garbage disposal a food-grinding monster," Amy added with a laugh. "That was a pretty big clue." Luna felt her heart racing. You knew I was lying?" "We knew you weren't telling us the whole truth," Mrs. Chen said gently. "But we figured you had your reasons. Everyone deserves privacy about their past." Luna looked around at their faces in the candlelight. They were all smiling at her with acceptance and warmth. No judgment, no anger, just patience. "I'm from very, very far away," she said carefully. "Much farther than you could probably imagine. And where I come from, we don't have anything like your technology." "How far?" Kimi asked curiously. Luna looked up through the window at the stars twinkling in the clear night sky. "Let's just say really far. So far that everything here is completely new to me. Your toilets, your showers, your kitchen machines. Where I'm from, we do everything differently." That must be scary," Mr. Chen said thoughtfully. "Being surrounded by unfamiliar things all the time. It was terrifying at first," Luna admitted. "I thought your toilet was going to attack me. I was convinced your shower was some kind of drowning device. Even your toaster seemed dangerous." The family laughed, but not in a mean way. It was the kind of laughter that made Luna feel included, not embarrassed. "But you've been so patient with me," she continued. "Even when I flooded the bathroom, or turned it into a bubble factory, even when I had ... medical episodes ... that made me look strange." Amy reached over and squeezed her hand. "That's what families do. They help each other learn and grow." "Families," Luna repeated. "Well, you're part of our family now," Mrs. Chen said simply. "For as long as you're here." Luna felt that warm feeling in her chest again, stronger than ever before. On her planet, relationships were formal and distant. But this human family had welcomed a complete stranger and treated her like one of their own. "I have a confession," she said, feeling brave in the soft candlelight. "I actually really like some of your technology now. The shower feels amazing. Once you know how to use it properly, and the toilet ... "Well, it's actually quite efficient," Amy said. "You just needed time to get used to it." "Your technology isn't scary," Luna realized out loud. "It's just different from what I'm used to. And different doesn't mean dangerous." Mr. Chen nodded. "That's a pretty wise observation. Most fear comes from not understanding something." As the night went on, Luna found herself sharing stories about her homeland, carefully edited versions that didn't reveal too much. She talked about the quiet, peaceful place where she grew up, where everything was done through thought rather than machines. "But I'm glad you came here to experience something different." "Me too," Luna said and meant it. When the power came back on a few hours later, the house suddenly filled with the familiar hums and beeps of technology coming back to life. But this time, instead of being scared, Luna felt oddly comforted by the sounds. "You know what?" she said as the lights flickered back on. "I think I'm ready to learn about that dishwasher now." Amy grinned. "Really? You're not afraid of it anymore?" Luna stood up and looked around at the family who had shown her so much kindness. "But I've learned that the best way to stop being afraid of something is to understand it. And I have pretty good teachers." As they blew out the candles and put away the board games, Luna realized her research mission had taught her something unexpected. She'd come to Earth to study human technology and culture. But what she'd really learned about was something much more important: the human capacity for kindness, patience, and love. Her final report was going to be very different from what she'd originally planned. She was perfectly okay with that.